Alright, well, I don't know what the heck happened there, but apparently I got taken offline for talking some truth. Taken offline for talking. I don't know what happened, really. Let's see. So it seems like we're back up for good.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I had to close and relaunch. No justice for Sashi. She was guilty. She acted guilty. She was like, I'm sorry. Chicken nugget stealer. Yes. Yes. Sashi is a chicken nugget stealer. Sorry about that, guys. Don't know what happens to the stream connection, and I don't know how it went offline without it notifying me, but whatever, I guess. We're doing okay now, is the good point. I'll have to maybe stream, maybe tie those VODs together somehow, hopefully. It's probably because I was talking too many spoilers for Durin's Folk. Which, by the way, I don't know where I ended up getting cut off in that whole debacle, so... Hopefully someone can pop in and tell me the last thing that they heard me say. Yeah, but that doesn't tell me much. I was talking about Durin's Folk story spoilers. Okie doke. I will be leaving the lo-fi on, by the way. Hey, Sanders. What's up, bro? Been a while. I need to see if this lines up or not. I don't think it does, but we'll check. Does it? It looks like it does, but I can't really tell from this angle. Okay. Yes, there should be continuity with the voice acting. So, long story short, Sanders, I was talking some Durin's Folk spoilers. So hopefully if you play this game or don't, you don't mind me talking spoilers, but I will be talking a little bit of spoilers. But anyway, man, that means like that whole conversation that I had talked Durin's folk spoilers, that I had said, nothing got recorded. That's unfortunate. That sucks. That was a lot of effort. I was really passionate when I was talking to. Oh well. That's demotivated me from talking now. He actually enjoys spoilers, usually. Okay. So, yeah, I was talking about more or less what my thoughts were on the Durin's Folk DLC story, because I had just completed it not long ago, and more or less like my thoughts as a whole for the expansion. And I will say that, like, hold on, I'm gonna go close my door really quick. Come on, Kaba. You wanna stay in here? Come on. Sashi, you want to stay in here too? Come on. No. Okay, Sashi's out. Kaiba's in. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, my wife joined a voice chat with some of my other friends, so and that was kind of loud. I know this mic can pick up quite a lot. So anyway, my thoughts on the story. Like, overall, it was good, but I feel like a lot of it was potentially, you know, I feel like maybe a lot of it was just not held back is like the wrong word for it. But maybe, like, they should have, like, me and Axbeer talked about this once, and I feel that they should have either focused on either the NP, like one expansion content with the NPCs, and then one with the story. I don't think it should have been together. I think it should have been split up, if that makes sense. Like, it should have been, each should have been its own thing. And maybe that might be a little controversial for some people, but I do think that... Hold on, let me destroy this really quick. Why... Okay, hold on. This is gonna drive me nuts. Everything here looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, so why is it slightly out of alignment? Is it something to do with this? Alright, well, man, I wish I had recorded what I had said earlier. Dang it. So, more or less, because now I'm hearing two different conversations right now.
Sasha look at me, she's like, can I go in there with Dad?
Okay.
Okay, so bye, Sasha.
Turning the volume up now so I can hear less noise the other direction, because I'm getting really distracted with the other conversation that's happening. Anyway, so, like, the Durin's Folk thing, like, hold on, stuff's too loud. Let me turn this lo-fi music off. Maybe now I can finally think. I didn't take my medication today, can you guys tell? Lol. Hey Tyler, what's up? Just a heads up, Tyler, I am giving some of my thoughts on the Durin's Folk storyline. I'm not sure if you've completed it yet or not. So, just, you know, forewarning, I'm just giving my overall opinion. On it and stuff. That's gonna drive me nuts. I haven't completed it, but I don't have issues with spoilers. Okay. Well, alright, so then... Well, let me just get right into it then. Like, the main thing with the Durin's Folk expansion that I kind of take issue with is that there wasn't really, like, a lot of continuity with the voice acting. And, like the voice acting for the story, like... Oh, hey, Morning Darkness. I saw your little message about RTMs. I am building right now. I got these 3 done. I had to redo this entire thing right here. And yes, I am having piece alignment issues right now, which is strange, but yeah, I'll figure it out. With this game, unlike many other games, I've kind of just accepted that sometimes the piece just doesn't, you know? Sometimes it do what it do, and it, you know, sometimes we don't think it be that way. Sometimes we don't think it be the way it be, but it do. By the way, guys, Morning Darkness is an amazing streamer who plays a lot of Valheim and a bunch of other things too, but she's an awesome Valheim builder. Definitely check out her channel. And in fact, I don't have lots of mods, but I think my 2 mods are like asleep now. But yeah, what is funny is that one of my friends actually voice acted for this game. Nice. Yeah, I think I may have seen them in chat. I'm just gonna go full send on this. No, don't fall, please. Damn it. Don't do it. That's strange. It ended up lining up a little bit more over here. Damn it. So the base game of Return to Moria, it opens up with like you know, a really strong cutscene with John Rhys Davies like reprising his role, right? And it gives you a lot of context for like the story and stuff like that, and it's really strong, right? It's a really strong intro to the game, more or less, right? And like there's a beginning and then there's an end, ending cutscene, and in between that, your character is kind of talking with the bird Eric, and like, all right, I'm gonna have to approach this some different way. I don't know how, but it has to happen some different way. So anyway, you have like a fully voice acted campaign for the most part. And in Durin's Folk, the story is not voice acted all the way through. There's sometimes text box, sometimes there's voice lines, but there's never... Man, I don't like that. It's gonna bug me, but I'm gonna have to just roll with that for now and keep working on this. Seems like you got a split second now before things collapse. So, in Durin's Folk, a lot of the story is kind of like locked behind some of the NPC progression stuff, and I feel a little bit conflicted with that. And what I had said before my stream ended up like disconnecting the last time was that like either do an NPC expansion or do a story expansion, and maybe they should have been separate so that like one could have been, you know, maybe a little bit put a little bit more into it, you know. And I played this game forever. Like I played this game. I mean, there's other people that like played this game way more than I did. Way more hours than I have. Hey Kiwi, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm having some of these kinds of issues though, and that's really annoying. I am talking Durin's Folk spoilers, if you don't mind. So just a heads up, I don't want to like make anyone angry that was hoping to experience that firsthand. And just giving my general thoughts on everything and how it played out, because I just finished it the other day. Okay, cool. Yeah, so like basically the first thing I was getting into was the lack of continuity with voice acting. And for like Durin's Folk, basically. Actually would be working, but wanted to say you're doing a beautiful job. Thank you. Thank you so much, Morning Darkness. I really appreciate it. Have a good stream, by the way, if you are going to be streaming today. I'll probably lurk on your stream too. Chompy. You know, I don't usually mind, like, text box, I guess, based storyline telling. However, I think that, like, a game has to fully be... I feel like a game has to fully be, like, either text box or voice acted and not partial of both, right, nowadays. And there are games that are like that, where they have a little bit of voice acting and, like, mostly text box stuff. And, but that's the kind of quality that I would expect from, like, that's the kind of thing I would expect in, like, a mobile game, right? Usually. Yeah, thank you, Kaylorn. Sorry about that. I have no idea that my stream even went down. I was sitting here like an idiot explaining all this stuff, like my thoughts on Durin's Folk and everything, and then, like, you know, I look over and my wife is like, "Hey, are you still streaming?" And I'm like, I look at Streamlabs and I'm like, yeah. Am I not on Twitch or something? And more for the most part, I look over and, like, I'm offline on Twitch, and I'm like, well, shit. Well, shit. I guess not. The story too, like, I'm gonna go through the story and I guess kind of rehash what I had already said in simpler terms, but more or less, like I felt like that like a lot of the conflicts of the story were maybe resolved a little bit too easily, and essentially, like, a lot of the story elements being locked behind NPC progression, I didn't really feel too great about either. It's kinda like... Sorry, hold on. Why am I not having sound right now? There you go. It kind of, like, took me out of the story to have to wait so long for NPC stuff to get built, just so that I could enjoy a little bit more of the story at a time. And, like, you know, the story opens up with, like, okay, well, you gotta go up to the tower, and you gotta, like, you know, light the beacon on Durin's tower so that you can draw in more folk. And then when you draw in the folk, you You get to do the NPCs, and then you'll hire a bunch of NPCs until eventually you run into the Wanderer, who is Vror, V-R-O-R. Nice. I was so engrossed in building earlier, I didn't notice like you got double rated by Jibo, and nice. Hell yeah. It do be that way sometimes, just being so engrossed in building that like you just like don't see or hear anything else happening. So you meet Vror, right? The Wanderer. And Vror is like, congrats on your second stream. Vror is like someone that you meet that's like intended to be mysterious. He opens up the expedition mechanic for you, and like, you know, you go on a couple of expeditions, and he tells you that like, hey, I've been wandering for a really long time. I was in the company of, King Durin Stonehelm, and I just kind of wandered off, and I've just been wandering around all these mountains. The mountains speak to me, hey Trit, welcome. I am discussing some Durin's Folk spoilers, by the way, so you know. And so you go on a couple of expeditions with him. Eventually, you encounter the Goal Run, and then you deal with that whole situation. He's like, that beast is like stealing your dwarves and stuff, and you find a way to get him. Vror helps you find him, but in the meantime, or I think this is directly after, he ends up stealing the Khazad-dûm from King Durin Stonehelm and his company, and so that was like after you settle the whole situation with the Goal Run. He, Vror is like, hey, come see me in the tomb of Kings. And it's right before you're about to like capture the Goal Runner. It's around the same time after, I think. I'm not sure. And so like you go there, and he's like, hey, I stole this Khazad-dûm, and your character is basically just like, hey, this might cause us a lot of problems with Erebor. And, like, sure enough, the emissary comes. Bonjour, comment tu vas. Hello. Venom. I don't speak French, unfortunately. But welcome. Welcome to the stream. I am talking about some spoilers for Durin's Folk. If you don't mind that. But I'm doing some building in the background too, so yeah. So Vror tells you, hey, I stole the Khazad-dûm, and this is a brief summary of all the events, but like, your character's like, hey, that's gonna cause a lot of problems, and he's like, I'm aware, but it belongs here. We shouldn't be some vassal of Erebor, right? We should be Moria should stand on its own, and like, your character kind of agrees, and then you liked Vror until he turned out to be a klepto. Well, yeah, he has some very underhanded, yeah, and it's like kind of underhanded for how important he is for the story, right? Like he is, one of the most important dwarves to the dwarves, and I don't know, it's just, so anyway, like, sure enough, the emissary comes by, and he's like furious, like he's like, hey, they took the Khazad-dûm, we know who it was, more or less. He like implies that he knows it was the Wanderer Vror, and your character's just like, yeah, and he's like, I give it back to you, but like that would kind of like, it's kind of boosted our morale, and like, it would kind of like ruin my position, and the emissary is like, okay, fair, and you know what? I'll strike you a deal if you give us, like, if you trade with us and help us, you know, supply goods for the war effort against the Gundabad orcs, then, you know, we might overlook it, you know? And, like, for me, that conflict felt a little bit too kind of, like, easily swept under the rug. Because we're talking about dwarves, right? Dwarves that, the same dwarves that in the Lord of the Rings books and the Silmarillion and all this stuff have, for much less, by the way, have waged wars against entire peoples because they didn't get paid correctly on an order that they fulfilled, or, you know, that whose greed like drove them to like cut long-standing friendships with you know, like with elves, right? And like over the smallest things, over for much less, right? Yeah, exactly, Trey. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're too stubborn to sweep. They're also like very, like, you know, hey, give us payment. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I feel like just trade goods alone couldn't possibly, like, you know, like resolve that situation either. But yeah, that's more or less how you handle the situation. You decide, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll agree to these terms. We'll give you weapons. And so that trader appears outside, and it's the Gundabad quartermaster, and he's like, hey, yeah, like, you know, the most common items I trade with him, by the way, are like ironwood and like sometimes weapons, and like weapons like crossbow arsenals or prestige weapons, and like ironwood and like leather. So basically, like, you're telling me that, like, if I give the Erebor emissary and the army of King Stonehelm III enough ironwood and enough weapons, he's just gonna forget the whole ordeal with the Khazad-dûm, even though they know it was me. It was like some guy from my company that did that, right? And like, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me that whole conflict was just kind of like, all right, well, moving on to the next thing. Vror finds the worn ring, right? Sorry, Tread, I didn't see your comment there. If it was a stolen pine sapling, that's a different story. There's a lot of those. The Khazad-dûm is the thing they will not. Yeah, dude, like that's the first mithril ever mined by Durin. You know what I mean? Like, that's a dwarven artifact. It's a relic. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't believe that they would like easily sweep that under the rug. And hey, like, maybe, like, to the credit of, you know, the devs, maybe the dwarves acted a little bit different in the Fourth Age, following the events of the Third Age. But I still don't believe that they just, I still don't really like readily believe that they'll just, you know, well, yeah, give us some ironwood and we're good, you know. We're chill. So anyway, he finds out about the worn ring, the one that you get from the belly of her. And I think they reason it as, we found it, we gave it back. Someone took it, and they know it's with us, so they can come back for it whenever. Yeah, but I feel like that would just generate a lot more conflict. That, like, now that's just I can see where you're going with that line of thought, and like, it makes a lot of sense too. But I feel like now in that scenario, we're just prolonging an inevitable conflict that will happen, which is, you know, like what could very well spark war between dwarves. You know, if the Kingdom of Erebor is like, hey, no, you guys were our vassal, you stole the Khazad-dûm, you know, and you kept it. You know, like, that's a huge offense. So, I don't know. It's just, no matter, like, what framing it is, it's a conflict that feels too easily resolved. Maybe for now. I would have preferred there been an option to destroy the ruin ring or not, but it is what it is. Yeah, well, it is destroyed, but like by Vror, and I'm getting there. But Vror takes, has the ring. You take it back from him. He's like, you tell him that it basically like doesn't have any power or whatever, and like, Vror is like, well, what if it does have power? We could use it, against to fight the orcs and stuff, and whatnot. You discover that there's a secret like thing and secret room in the Narvi's Forge, because Eric tells you that there's elves currently in the Elven Quarter, and when you get there, they're gone. And like, you find the secret room, and it turns out to be Celebrimbor's secret room, and that gives you the location of a secret forge, Celebrimbor's secret forge, that you find through the expedition table. And the first time that you go to that area, you can't really do anything with anything in there. Actually, you're basically meant to find that area and to learn about basically encounter the new Gundabad Searcher orcs that can heal. And basically, you're just meant to either fight them. You're meant to fight them until you like either die, or you fight them long enough until you like they just get driven off because the horde leaves, right? And the way that they expect you to fight these guys, by the way, is to essentially to just do enough damage that it like completely cancels out like whatever healing that they might do in that time frame. And like their weapons and stuff do corrosion damage. Yeah, exactly. The secret forge of Celebrimbor that looks very dwarven. Yeah, it has a dwarven furnace and everything. So like, they expect you to just like basically one-shot these guys, like, or not one-shot, but basically do huge two-handed, charged strikes with two-handed weapons, or just a tier 6 weapon. And if you're on the higher difficulty, just a heads up, the scaling of that healing effect is pretty high. You would like to the point where you might have to wear Norgrud, armor and gloves to get the extra attack boost from that, and maybe you could roll with like an Abak or two, and then like you might be able to like kill a couple of them with a tier 6 weapon. Yeah, the secret force is like that is only secret. Yeah, like, and it's like it's like what, 3 tiles? Yeah, it's 3 tiles of a quote unquote secret room. And keep in mind, after you fight the dwarves, the Gundabad orcs that are there, you can't interact with anything at the forge initially. You're basically just meant to go there, see that it's there, and then leave, which felt like a huge waste of resources for me. Like, I spent a decent minute or two like loading that area to basically like go in there, fight really quick, and then leave. And I don't know, it just so like you resolve to seal the one ring away. And so you're gonna build this monument, and it's this one, the Vault of Kafrun Unchi, to seal it away, and seal the ring away. And so the problem with how that ended up being executed was what didn't sit right with me, because you have the ring on your person the entire time that the monument is being built. It's shown in your inventory, right? And then when you build the monument, essentially the sequence of events that had happened for me was, I sat there while they were building the monument. They built the monument, and then like the instant that the monument was built, my quest thing updated, and then somehow the ring that I had seconds ago is no longer in my inventory. And now my quest is updated to, hey, you need to go find Vror. He took the ring. And like there's nothing that happened. There was nothing that happened in between those events that, like, you know, hey, oh yeah, Vror came and he stole it really quick, you know, or Vror came and knocked you out and stole it really quick or something like that. And it was just like, well, hey, by the way, like, while you were standing here watching this monument be built, he stole the ring. And like, I don't know, that just felt really weird to me. Yeah. I would have I would have liked to have an elven forge and furnace, though not very big, so that we could build Eregian and campaign roller. Some Lothlordian weapons would also be good. Yeah, that sounds cool. Not one ring, sorry, the dwarf ring. Yeah, things just happen. Yeah, so it's the worn ring that you get from killing her, the dragon from the storyline, and like. There's nothing that happens in between, and that's my main thing with that whole ordeal, I guess. Just, you know, you have the ring on you, and then you don't. so I'm just sitting there like, what? So like this guy just like stole the ring while I was standing here, like, you know, looking at the monument that I'm going to place the ring inside of. You know, it didn't feel right to me, And so you go and find him again. He's back in Celebrimbor's secret forge, and you have to mine your way to get in there. And you can hear him. He's like hammering away at it, and you don't know what he's doing. But your whole thing says you need to protect him because he sets off a horde of good to bad searchers. So you need to basically, like, the idea is to protect him, but the mobs don't actually ever go for him. They go straight for you. And every third strike or so, he does like an AoE that kind of like knocks everyone back. And he's just hammering away at it while you're fighting for your life against good to bad searchers. And like, when you inevitably win, and like you talk to him, and he's like, hey, yeah, so like I had these visions that, like, you know, I had these conflicting visions, right? I had a vision, like one where I was, you know, where I destroyed the ring, and another where I wore the ring, but I was engulfed in darkness, you know, and I had to find out which one was the true one. And he breaks the ring, he destroys it. So he destroys the ring, and then you basically tell him, like, hey, it's all good, I guess, you know, like, you just kind of scared me there, you know, buddy. You know, like, you kind of scared me there, bro. And then, like, he's like, okay, I need to go think on what happened. And, you know, he's like, he goes to, like, he's like, I'm gonna go to the Durin's tower or whatever. He goes to the Durin's tower, and, like, he just kind of, like, stands there. I still have the icon for him, even though he's gone now. Sorry, I'm missing these chats while I'm, like, enveloped in telling my experience with it. Did Vor kill a dragon to get the ring? No, call me greedy, but I wanted to put the ring in a vault. Yeah, same. As a writer, there are many things that bother me, honestly, even if it's meant to be simple. Yeah. So he's meant to stand over there after all of those events, right? And you can still see him. Well, see his icon at least. Yeah, my Delvestone still says he's there too. Yeah. I'm sure he is meant to be, like, taken out or something. I don't know. There's a bench right there, by the way, because I was watching them build that. So you calling Vor a petty dwarf? Yeah, Vor is twice a thief at the very least. Yes, he is. Also, David, I looked into the Silmarillion token books and did then some more research. There was no evidence of Durin the Seventh destroying any ring. No, and I mean, there's not. I'm gonna be honest with you, Trit. There's probably not a lot of Fourth Age lore period. Like, the fourth age is basically hey, like everyone kind of prospers after Sauron's dead, surprise, and so do the dwarves, and eventually the dwarves just kind of disappear. Like no one ever sees them again. At some point or another, they prosper, and then they just disappear. No one sees them ever again. So so anyway, like, so he's standing over there, right, after all of those events, after him destroying the ring and stuff. He tells you that, you know, he has these visions and stuff. He doesn't like, the gist of it is that, like, you know, he should just leave and go wander somewhere because he's just causing a lot of trouble. And you basically tell him, well, hey, maybe we might test and see if you're Durin, if you feel like you don't belong anywhere, and you are the distant line of Durin from, like, Thorin Oakenshield, right? So why not do the little test? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. And so you basically have to build that monument over there, that one. And once you build it, like a little cutscene plays where you're singing and he's standing on the little pedestal, and it's not really even a cutscene. It's as if the game forces you to go into free cam mode almost, and you're just standing there singing while he's, like, kneeling down and stuff. And then from all of that singing that you do, it's established that he is the reincarnation of Durin. And he's like, well, I know who I am now. He's like, I am Durin. And, like, but I'm not ready yet. I need to do some more wandering and stuff. And he's like, you should stay here, in Moria, and then build it back up, and one day we won't have to call it Moria anymore. It will be Khazad-dûm again. And that was probably, like, the coolest voice line of, like, the only voice lines that he's actually said in the entire game. And then, like, he leaves, basically. He leaves. He's gone. He's still, like, on your Devil's Stone as, like, the Wanderer and stuff. But he leaves your company. It's like he leaves to go wander and see some more mountains and stuff, and go to other places. And that's where the story ends. So the story ends with you building a monument, singing to find out if he's Durin or not. You find out that he is Durin, reincarnated, and then he leaves. And so, but keep in mind though that, like, between these events, there's a whole lot of NPC related progression that you have to make. There's a whole lot of, like, like, I'm asleep so that it's not nighttime anymore. There you go. So you're meant to bread, yeah. It's funny because that's all I ever eat. It's bread. So you're meant to believe that, like, or sorry, not meant to believe. That's it. Like, you're meant to progress through everything, leveling up all your delvings, right? Leveling up all of your stuff. Like, they want me to have 6 total great monuments. And, like, that will unlock 7 total delvings. I'm not sure if there's any more story after that, but that's basically where I'm at. So they want me to build, like, 2 more of these, which cost quite a lot of resources, by the way, to build. It's not like I'm gonna build this one at the top of the tower, this pillar of Unuk Ahin, and then after that I have no idea what I'm gonna build. I refuse to believe they disappeared. They just dig in a great hole. Yeah, a lot of monument building and hiring builders. Yep. So, like the whole game, like, the whole story element relies on you progressing through the NPC element in order to get to all the story. And the developer said something about, like maybe it's 20 hours of content, and I feel like it's more. I feel like it's more. Can you only build one of each? I feel like you can build more. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anywho, only 5 great monuments. They should have added a great monument, a Durin statue or Durin hearth. Their own. Yeah, you know what? Like these big statues over there, I was surprised weren't part of the monuments, and I'm hoping they will one day. Also, just noting this, you know, for I don't know, I doubt that any of the devs watch my streams sometimes, but you know, that one is clearly facing at a 45-degree angle. I'm just saying, you know, like we know that you guys have more rotations than just 90 degrees. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. We know. We see it. Killern says Gandalf states in Elsevier that Sauron recovered 3 or 4 rest destroyed, devoured by dragon. Okay. It's more than 20 if you have to grind for the mats. Can't get builders fast. Yeah, like it's definitely not 20 hours because there's a lot of there's definitely a lot of like waiting around and stuff like that. There's a lot of you know, waiting for the builders to do stuff, waiting for NPCs to do stuff, to make orders so that you can go and do stuff. And I don't see where they're getting 20 hours from. It's taken me longer, but that's only because there's a lot of stuff that I just didn't have, and you know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Like I'm okay with like gathering the resources, I guess. But what made it feel very grindy to me was like, despite the fact that I have high resource drop settings, it still took me like, you know, around maybe I'd say like 10 or so expeditions. You know, you guys remember that stream I did where I was looking for quartz, and like it took me like a decent amount of expeditions before I even got like anywhere near close to 200 onyx. Ooh. Oh no, did it not play? Did the Kaiba thing not play, or did it play and I was just like talking through it? Lol, 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 lol. If it didn't play, let me know. It played? Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Yeah, I was worried. I was like, oh no. It's like sometimes I don't hear it, even though I'm like monitoring the output, so I don't want it to like ever like not play for you guys. Oops. Ow. But yeah, so like my thoughts on like Durin's folk as a whole from that experience is basically like a lot of the quote unquote hours of content I kind of feel are maybe perhaps it's a lot of like waiting and idling, and I very frequently spent like one of the memories that I have of playing this DLC was on Thanksgiving Day. I took my Rogue ally to my parents' place, and I sat it there. I was sitting in a chair watching my builders build a monument so that I could build the next monument. And I sat there for 45 minutes in game to watch them build the monument. And I had to do that for quite a lot of other things too. I had to do that for the artisans and stuff like that, the blacksmith who wasn't making things. I found that I had to kind of like stay in the area so that they could like make stuff so that I could sell that stuff. You left my dwarf watching and left to cook. Yeah, like I was telling Sleepy and Special that because I sent them the screenshot of me just sitting there in the chair, like looking at the dwarves build and stuff, and I told them that like I kind of feel like I'm playing one of those like mobile idle games, except like in this one, it runs on my PC and instead of my phone, and it's one block too short, and it's you know, occasionally I might get invaded and have to defend myself, right? Like, it felt like that. It felt like one of those idler games where you just do nothing and eventually you get stuff, you know. Those are a lot of the kind of games that I play at work on shift, so that like I have something to look at when it's slow or something. So, I guess my overall thoughts on it too, like following all of that, like it's overall, I'll say it's like everything has like a really strong foundation. Like the NPC economy systems, really strong foundation. I do have some gripes with like locking a building set behind it, because that essentially means that you have to go into the world and do the whole Durin's Folk storyline all over again, including the base game, to use coastal marble or sandstone, and like getting to the end game requires getting through the base game, and in order for you to enjoy the end game, you know, economy, quote unquote, you essentially have to get through a bunch of the other stuff that's there, you know, like a bunch of the base game stuff. Is this tower a case of what column haven't I used? I don't know, man. Like it's more or less just me like placing things, like making a different kind of looking column. Without it being a column, you know? I like to make my own column, quote-unquote columns, I guess. But I mean, like, I have the columns on the side right there, and then I have extra support and stuff. There's stuff like under too. I have like adamant underneath so I can get some extra stability, because some of this stuff hangs off the edge. Just a touch, not too much, but it's enough to warrant that there would be some stability issues going skyward, you know? Like this one has probably the most amount of lean over the edge, and I'll have to fix that at some point and make it look nice all underneath and stuff. But everything over here is fine. I fixed that, so I have like that staircase, and there's some columns down there. So it's coming along, I guess. There should have been a way to go to other mountains, in my opinion, so you could mine white marble or redstone. Yeah. I don't, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, if you're gonna make it to where, like, I have to buy something through a trader, right? I should get a lot of it for my reputation, too. It is my main thing about it. I feel that you get a little bit, like, you don't get enough in exchange for your reputation, right? For example, like, be very happy with my grateful. I learned so much watching various streamers' videos. Nice. Yeah, sinking things into the floor and all that other stuff. Elite ball knowledge for building. I forgot what I was saying already, though. Not enough for what we give up. Yeah. Good example of that is the quartermaster, right? So think of like the time spent gathering versus what you get in exchange. The Gundabad quartermaster will very often want ironwood, right? And he'll usually have a limit of, in my experience, it's around 150, right? And you can sell in stacks of 30, and like he's gonna give you 7 reputation per stack of 30 ironwood that you give him. Think about like how much time that you spend getting ironwood, right? Like you have to wait for the trees to grow. That usually takes about a day or two, right? Maybe 2 or 3 in-game days of sleeping, right? And that's if you're sleeping in the Elven Quarter. If you're planting your own trees, like a lot of people do, you have to plant the tree, wait for it to sprout, and then wait for it to grow to its final stage. And when it's grown to its final stage, you can chop at it and you'll get some ironwood from it. To get 30, you'll have to, hit quite a lot of trees. So if I'm estimating the time spent correctly, you're going to be spending around, I'd say, easily half, maybe an hour and a half, maybe, getting, I'd say a good Elven Quarter run, hitting all of the trees with a Rune Carver axe is probably, 60 on high drops, right? Or maybe 100 if you're lucky, and planted some extra trees. So for all that time that you spent, you can give 3 stacks, and you're only going to have 21 reputation to show for it. And that's like a whole lot of time spent for nothing, in my opinion, for not much. And only 21 rep gets you absolutely nothing with that trader too. And meanwhile, the Expeditioner's armor costs you 750 rep. So you're going to be there, selling the goods to him constantly, and you can only sell 4 of them, 4 or 5 of them at a time that he'll buy. And then once you're done with that, well, now you got to move on to giving him the materials of ironwood and stuff, and that's not a good trade. Yeah, rep rewards are garbage. Yeah, the rate is definitely not in favor of the player for how much the player gives up in time spent gathering that resource in comparison to how much rep we get back for that, it's definitely not in our favor. But I don't expect it to be, I guess. You just warehoused it. Yeah, it has become frustrating to the point where I would warehouse, I should just warehouse these things, because if the rates are so bad for my time to do it legitimately, then why would I spend all of that time? And wherein I could just pop into the warehouse really quick, and I can grab a fat stack or a couple of stacks of 100 ironwood, way more than that trader will need, and there you go. I guess needing to go to, or having it better to be going to a warehouse, I feel isn't the way to go about it, with the trading system. And for what it's worth, the trading system is good. It's really well, it has a really good foundation. I feel the values just need to be tweaked a little bit more so that you get more benefit out of it. Because imagine that you're I don't know, I just don't like that you get so little rep for your stuff. And I'm not saying that in a harsh way, I guess. It's just, for the time spent versus the reward, it's not much. But I did think about something too. Something that's separate from this is that, what do you do once you've gotten everything that you want from the traders, right? What do you do when you've gotten everything that you wanted from the traders? You kind of, there's no point to participate in the economy anymore, right? Because there's no end game benefit, right? There's no end game benefit to continuing to contribute to traders aside from, I guess, amassing resources. Because once you unlock the recipes, you're good, right? I mean, I guess you'll need coastal marble always. And if you want to make more expeditioner's armor for your NPCs, you'll need more sea wax, which requires tallow, right? So why not? Why not just go to... Why not go to those two traders? But what about everyone else, right? Like, for the Shire trader, once you get the seeds for the pumpkin and the sweet root, you can just farm that. And, like, same thing with the elven flowers. I think you'll probably need the elven silk and stuff to make some of the elven stuff, but I don't know. So that means that, like, maybe a handful of traders might be useful for you in that case, depending on what you're doing. But you still don't get enough back. It's difficult because if the rates were favorable, then people would say the expansion wasn't enough hours of content. But the simplest way to keep longevity is to increase the longevity of grind. I agree with that line of thought. But the grind needs to be rewarding. I don't mind grinding in games. In fact, I play a lot of games. I would argue that I play a lot of games where I have to grind. Like Return to Moria is one such game. Valheim is one such game. Aska, whatever. Like any other colony sim or management game, right? You would need to grind to a degree. But the grind needs to be equal parts satisfying and rewarding. When you're, like, for example, like, going on an expedition for the 10th or 15th time so that you can get enough Anorin, for instance, so that you can make enough runic hearthstones, and that's only one of the 2 ingredients that you need for runic hearthstones, by the way. You need coastal marble as well. So you need to be able to also give the Blue Mountains trader what they need, right? So you need to grind for their resources as well. And so this means that you're kind of in an endless loop of going on an expedition, getting sub-drop items, so like resource sub-drops, so like Anorin, Onyx, Quartz, right? Things that already, I would say arguably they don't drop very often. And so your gameplay loop then becomes go to an expedition, mine until you fill up your pack with said resource, and you may or may not have, you may or may not get enough on the expedition to fill out the pack, and if you don't, you have to go on another expedition, right? If you do, great. You filled up your pack with the sub-drop item, which is very rare if you don't have, like, high resources turned up, right? So the resource loop, so the loop then becomes just keep going on expeditions until you have enough of said resource to produce enough of said trade items. However, time goes by pretty fast when you're on an expedition, so there's a decent chance that the trader that you are trying to gather the resource for will leave in that time that you're gathering the resource to sell to them. And then that becomes an issue too, because, well, you spent all of that time to gather said resource to craft the item, and you can no longer craft the order because the trader left. And that's been like one of the experiences that I've run into quite a lot. And I'm giving this criticism. I like to think that I'm giving this criticism pretty constructively. I just think that there needs to be a better end game loop, so that, like, you don't find yourself in expedition after expedition after expedition, gathering resources constantly for the monuments, gathering resources constantly for the orders, so that the blacksmiths may or may not actually make the orders due to the current bug. Hopefully that gets fixed, though. But yeah, like, Trit says, personally, if you get everything a trader owns, they should have a 900 value map to their mountain forest zone. That would be cool. What I mean by that is, if I get every blueprint a trader can give, I would expect a map to be unlocked to the Red Mountains, Coastal Mountains, Lothlorien Shire. Hell, even get a few missions to help Stonehelm, Sabotage, Good to Bad, Wall, or Fortification. That would be dope. That would be dope. I would do that. So, because like, you know, I'm not saying the. By the way, I'm not like criticizing the DLC or anything like that just to criticize it. I want to really like the DLC. I just feel like it could be better. You know, it could be better. That's all I'm saying. And like, for what it's worth, I do like a lot of the stuff that's introduced in the DLC. I like the Coastal Marble set. I like the Red Sandstone set. I like that it's basically every stone piece in the game. Granite piece and adamant piece, just the different tint, which is more or less what we asked for. A little bit bummed that there isn't new pieces to include in that. But, you know, like, we technically got 2 building sets within a different tint for these items. Cool. We got a cool 2-handed hammer. We got Gimli's axe and Gimli's outfit. Cool. We got Imladris furniture sets. So elven furniture sets, pretty cool. We got the kitchenware display stuff from the Shire. That's cool. We did get the NPC system, so that's cool. They do walk around. It does feel like there's people, you know, living in the build, so to speak. It would be nice if you could craft any trader item that you have previously been asked for rather than only when they are present. Yeah. Exactly. Yes, I agree with that a lot. Maybe like their intention with that too was to like avoid people like stockpiling, but if you have to grind anyway to get a lot of the resources, they should just open it up. Like, people, like, the idea of a survival crafter game too is that eventually you're gonna get to a point where you're stockpiling anyway. You know, you're gonna be in a place where you're you know, you have the late game items. You're just building or whatever else you're doing. You're hoarding resources. It's a very common thing to do in survival crafting games, to just hoard a bunch of resources. So I understand what they were going for by not allowing us to do that. However, I present the argument that maybe they should have just let us craft some of those things. And in fact, I would argue that maybe they should let the player craft some of those things, but maybe at a slower, much slower rate. Maybe not much slower, that it's like, you know, like you shouldn't do it at all, but slower so that, like, you know, like maybe you queue it up in like a forge or something and it takes you 10 minutes as opposed to the blacksmith's 5, right? Plus, wasn't Moria this big trade hub back? Yeah. Yes. It was the center. It was the center of the Dwarven kingdom. It was like very how do I say, very much in its glory days. It's understandable now that it isn't there, but I would still say that, like, yeah, like you can make a case for, like, you know, like, let us do stuff more, you know. This is gonna be difficult. Let's see. I always feel weird, precariously perched on these edges. So I will definitely die at some point or another if I fall. And I really need to start making a couple of these pillars walkable up there. I just haven't figured out which side I want to do that on for some of the pillars. My plan is to have at least 4 of these columns have like a staircase on the inside of it, so that you can like, you know, get up to this second floor a lot easier. Oops. Why? Okay. And when you're up on the second floor, like, you could be, you know, like, you can get up through here or something. So I'm planning on 4 columns. So that one, and I don't know, maybe just 2. Because then it makes things more complicated. If it's like the corner of something, I would rather just it be the 2 center ones, and then the main structure in this middle part be just, you know, the thing, I guess. Might even be a little bit too narrow. We'll see. We'll see. I think it won't be so narrow that it's like detrimental, because I'll build like right here, and then it'll look wider. Hopefully they give us black marble of Numenorian design. Be great to building accent. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm always down for more building pieces. In fact, that was another thing too. Like, another thing that like really kind of bummed me out about the expansion was that they didn't really change anything with the building system. They didn't do any building related patches or anything like that, to my knowledge. It's not in the patch notes. They didn't add any more rotations to the building pieces. You know, like, that's something that I was expecting to happen at some point soon, but for some reason or another, I guess I was just, I don't know, I was expecting them to add something to that effect, you know, like more of the building piece rotations, like finally giving us like more than just 90 degrees, maybe 45 and 30-degree angles, or you know, so I can build more circular structures and stuff like that. Like, I was expecting that. I probably shouldn't have, but like, you know, I can't help it, you know. I wanted there to be some kind of building QOL, or even just, you know, snapping stuff a little bit easier. No new ales, yeah. Hey Kazumi, no new ales surprised me too. I mean, in the game files, there's ales, I guess, but not anything that we can actually make. Oop. No new ales. I mean, I think we did get our new banner though. We did get another new banner. It's arguably one of the best banners in the game, and all it is the Company of Moria one. I was begging for a hearth made for this expansion, something that gives radius bigger than ground hearth, but at the cost of every type of ingot and new rock types. That would have been cool. Even bigger hearth. To be honest though, like, the current hearths don't even really perform that well. Like, and I don't mean perform as in like not perform as in like they're not popular or anything, but like there's already like a lot of like hearth problems placing a lot of big hearths around, you know? And so I don't know why, but I guess it doesn't matter. Like anything will be like fixed eventually. But my huge network of hearths in the upper city has gotten to the point where and I think it's the same way for Kasumi if I remember right, where if you open up like a smelter or something like that, it'll take a really, really long time until you put fuel in there, and then it's okay. Don't know why it does that, but I've been doing that a lot in a lot of worlds. And so, yeah, don't know. Dang. It's coming together pretty nicely, I think. I always said I hope for Durin's hearth. Way of saying a hearth that signifies Durin's soon-to-be return. Yeah, I mean, at this point now, it's basically like, yeah, well, he is back. He's just not ready to be Durin, I guess. Not exactly not ready to be Durin, but you know what I mean, like, I'm not ready yet, he says, as he leaves. After, I mean, like, Durin was like absolute menace, this expansion. He basically came in, stole the Khazad-dûm, was like, you know, this belongs here, you know? And your character is like, I mean, yeah, sure, and caused a whole bunch of problems for you, and then he's like, I'm gonna steal the ring now, and then you're like, okay, and he draws a whole party of Gundabad searchers on him trying to destroy it, or, you know, hammer away at it, and then, you know, he's just like, sorry, I just needed to check, and see if, you know, I was actually going to be some Dark Lord or something. And you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's totally fine, dude. And then he dipped. Basically. After that, he dipped. He's like, you know what? I should find out if I'm Durin. And your character's like, you know what? We should find out if you're Durin or not. And then he's like, all right, bet. And then he dipped. Stole the Khazad-dûm, stole the ring twice. Broke the ring, lied to us on several occasions. Yeah, great job. Durin the 7th. Yeah, exactly, bro. Durin the scumbag. We're gonna put, like, the scumbag, like, oh my god, we're gonna bring back an ancient meme. Scumbag Durin. Someone just put the scumbag hat from that one meme on Durin. On Roar. Is Durin returned, steals everything. The real Durin would have helped us fight the orcs. Yes. Yes. Exactly. I'm actually surprised that he didn't. I'm actually surprised that he just, like... I mean, like, his little, like, hammer AoE, I guess, did something, I guess. I don't know. But, like... Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't take up a weapon. He just kind of just sat there hammering away while we were fighting for him. Oh, I'm scared. I'll be the next Dark... Oh, I'm scared I'll be the next Dark Lord. My Durin and Ale Sauron is dead. There is no Dark Lord to corrupt. Might have some of that corruption, though. You never know. It is Lord of the Rings. Plus, it was made by Sauron, so you never know. Okay, so... this thingy... I don't know if you guys heard that. Oh, this is perhaps too high. Yeah, this side is too high. So my friend Max got one of my other friends to play a game called Dishwashing Simulator, and like the premise of the game is it's actually a horror game, and so you're in there like washing dishes and stuff, and you have to like it's like a weird simulation game, where like you have to like automate the process of washing dishes. But also there's monsters and you're like in a back rooms type situation where there's monsters hunting you in like the back rooms and stuff. But you're working as a dishwasher there, and you have to basically just get out. But in the meantime, you're washing dishes, you know. And so what my wife just said just now, all I like really loud was like, a dishwasher's. What do you have you play? What dishwasher simulator? What the fuck? Yeah, it's actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun. Like games like that are like actually like horror games for some reason, on top of like being like a make money, make all the money simulator. Is are like some of the best games usually. Okay, Luke. 6-7. Okay. Uh, just heads up for chat. Don't take anything that Luke says seriously. Six, 7. Nice. 8-9. There you go. What files? I'll release the files that say that you're dumb. You're dumb and you also suck at Helldivers, bro. I'm too sober for this, and there's not enough alcohol in the world to make me drunk enough to deal with the whole 6-7 stuff. It's just it's like a number that doesn't really mean anything. It's just like 69, but like the implication is, you know, dinner for two basically. Sauron isn't dead. He just lost so much power with his ring's destruction he was unable to hold his form. Interesting. He was unable to be a giant eye on a tower. Well, in the movie, they make it seem pretty conclusive that he's gone forever, right? So. Sauron also did a 6-7. They also should have sealed him in the void with Morgoth so they could duke it out for an eternity. Now I'm just... Well, the giant eye is a movie thing. Now I'm just imagining Sauron getting scolded by the Valar and grounded for however that would work. Sauron, he almost destroyed the world and brought worldwide war. Go to your room right now. You're grounded. No orc armies for 2 centuries, young man. Sauron is a Maya, so can't die. He's a shadow. Okay. Interesting. Like a married couple stuck with their own company for the rest of the time. They did that to Morgoth. Didn't work out well. Hey, you never know. It might work out this time. I mean, the Balrog died, and that was a Maya. Fallen, is it? Maybe. Yeah, he's over here on the side of the mountain. I thought that... Are Balrogs Maya? I thought they were just, like, creations of, like, their own beings, essentially. He down there. See him? He don't look too good. He looks pretty dead to me. Lol. Nope, corrupted by R. Okay. Gandalf didn't clean up after his barbecue. Lol. Nope. He wanted all the dwarves to have the bones for premium Balrog bone marrow. That will sell to the traders for 5 reputation. Balrogs are Maiar, powerful spiritual beings who were originally created by Ilúvatar and became corrupted by the first Dark Lord Melkor. They joined Melkor's rebellion against the other Valar and were transformed into demons of fire and shadow, becoming his most feared servants. Okay, cool. Only you can prevent mountainside fires. Was the whole point. Only Eru could create life. Huh. It is a good question, though. Why can Balrogs die? I'm assuming maybe corruption does something to them. Maybe. Or, I mean, well, Gandalf is, I knew it, right? He's, like, really strong. He's, like, nerfed, too. But he's still really incredibly strong. I guess we'll just have to do a seance to summon Professor Tolkien from the grave to ask him these questions. So that then he could go back to resting in peace. So, to say a Maiar, or Maya, or however it is spelled, cannot die makes me laugh considering Gandalf killed a Balrog. Isn't like a ghosting... Is it like a ghosting where slaying a Balrog only kills its physical form, or not the spirit? I mean, it's possible. Proceeds to call the Necromancer from Dol Guldur to bring Tolkien back for a few minutes. We're gonna ask him a bunch of questions if he's here for a minute. We're gonna ask him. Okay, the first order of business is why didn't you flesh out Khazad-dûm, and can you, and then like ask him can you, and then the second order of business is you know, the Balrog question, and then he can go. I'm reading Letter of Tolkien. He talks about things like Gandalf's return and destruction of Sauron. Ooh, nice. I think I'm low on amber and stuff like that too, by the way, so I might need to get more of that stuff and more Numenorian cloth. Numa, yay. Making all 6 pillars hold each of the Durin statues, since there isn't a seventh yet. Yes. Yes, so this one is Durin 2, that one is Durin 3, that one is Durin 4, and over there is Durin 5. And then, let's see, this main one will have Durin 1, and that one will be Durin 6. And then this monument, I guess, will be used to represent Durin 7, even though technically we also have that one way over there, but yeah. If we do get a Durin the 7th statue, it has to be him just standing there with no like how he does on the expeditions. No special pose or anything. Just him just standing there like he does. One more. Dang it. I am irate at this for some reason. There you go. Durin statue should have his head looking high, unlike Durin, where he's looking to this, showing he's looking at the stars of a new age, not looking down to the doom of an age. Yeah. That sounds like a cool idea. I'm still waiting for... This is gonna sound weird, but I really want a dwarf statue that's in the Atlas pose that we can substitute as a pillar. Because I see those a lot in a lot of like other dwarf fantasy universes. I've yet to see them in LOTR universes, and I'd like to see them in an LOTR universe. Okay, and now I can do stair. Oh wow, I'm almost out of granite. Just from this one build session of this one pillar, I'm almost out of granite again. After I just dropped more granite, by the way, in here. Statue should be called Durin. Durin the Seventh. It should be a dwarven cloak with a face obscured and called the Wonder. Lots we can do with the upside down stairs. Yeah, I've been using them a lot for additional support. They are very stable. They're very stable. They give a lot of extra stability too, which is nice, at least from what I've observed. It's gonna be difficult to carry this through. Okay, starting to get orange like right around here. No, it's okay. Orange isn't bad though, as long as it's not no color other than red. Be fine. Plus, I think once it connects over here, it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm hoping. I've been hoping for an upside staircase for a while now. I still need smaller stuff, those stairs definitely will be used. Yeah, I still want smaller versions of the upside down stairs. It's cool that it is the full version, but I would like thinner ones as well for multiple other uses. Or at least in the daylight, it should be like some elven magic with some rune carvings that make it the Wanderer, but at night it changed to be looking like Durin the Seventh. That's way it's something new that means to how the first Durin saw his crown and a sun rising to. That is a really good idea. I hope you submitted that as a feedback ticket for the devs. If they ever allowed us full rotation, additional versions wouldn't be needed. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Babe? Are you howling?
Yeah.
Can you stop, please? Sorry, guys. I keep thinking it's the dogs howling. I'm like, why are the dogs crying? And it's my wife. It was my wife all along. Kaiba howling in his dreams. No. I get like high on high alert when when I hear howling and stuff, because I think like the dogs might need something or like something's going on with them. Oh, Kaiba's howling in his dreams and you're trying to record him? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Continue. Sorry, babe, I had no idea what you were doing. I thought it was like Sasha or something. Sashi. Kawawa. Kawawa. For those who don't know, Kawawa means like pobrecito, like sad, basically. Filipino word. Did he wake up? Did he wake up? Sounds like he woke up. Kubi's awake again. Oops, I destroyed one too many pieces. Okay, there's one final thing I need to do here before I continue. I'm gonna... We can hope, yeah. Exactly. We can hope. I need to check this piece all the way out here. This one. See how much stability I've gotten from connecting them. Okay, still orange. That is concerning, but I think we'll be okay. We'll find out, I guess. In any case, if it does present some issues on the way up, we'll be fixing those. Nothing like a cup of bean water in the morning. I love bean water. It's my favorite. I like bean water. I like macchiato bean water. It's been my go-to drink recently in the cold. It's the hot caramel macchiato. Couple shots. Oops. Hold on here. So, this one. I think I done messed up. Hold on. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. This part is supposed to connect just like the other parts. I only used water because I had no milk to put in the kettle with coffee grounds. Aw. What's your favorite kind of coffee? I want to know. If you guys, some of you guys that are still around, favorite kind of coffee. I default to the caramel macchiato, although I am a fan of shaken espresso as well. Any coffee that makes me wake up, yeah, that's valid. Unfortunately, I'm at the point where coffee by itself won't wake me up. I have to take my medication and coffee in order to feel awake. I don't drink coffee. It's bitter and makes me sleepy. That's unfortunate. You're missing out on bean water with the rest of us, Kiwi. Something is wrong here. I can't figure out what it is that's wrong. Oh, okay, I'm one block too short.
Hi there, nice to see you. Bumblebee Tuna?
Hey,
Bumblebee
sister.
Tuna!
What's up? What's up, bro? My daily is French press, but I like Chemex the best, especially beans from Keon Mountain. Ooh, that sounds fancy. That sounds like fancy coffee. Please stop clamoring to things. Okay, there you go. Well, if I wasn't awake then, I'm awake now. That jump scare appears. That audio is kind of loud, huh? So I always turn those up so that people can hear them over everything else that I'm doing. Most of the time I'm doing like I guess moderate volume streams, I guess, but yeah. Why do I feel like I messed up somewhere here? Why does it feel that way? I know it's not that way, is it? No, this is higher. It just looks, it's just the perspective, I think. I think I need to cover it. Lol, that jump scared me too. What's up? Hey, Special, what's up? Hey. Cicero, thank you for gifting a sub to Luke. Luke, and now you can watch the streams ad-free. Congrats. Hey, Tubjorn. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Hey, Blueberry. Oh, both of you guys are here. Nice. Welcome. You guys don't know, Wild Blueberry and Tuberin, they stream together. Husband and wife situation. They're really cool. Wild Blueberry is on the stream team for Return to Moria. Highly recommend that you guys check her out. She's awesome, and also her streams are awesome too. I don't know why, but sometimes it doesn't let me do the thingy for people's. There you go. Yay. It worked. I did things. I don't know why, but like it wasn't populating your name when I was trying to write the @ symbol. And then, yeah. Twitch be twitching sometimes. That's the lesson. Knew Kiwi was here. Ah, good thing I didn't fall that far. No problemo. Definitely check out Tuberin too. Nice. So yeah, if you guys play the fart noise on Twitch, it is one of like 15 or so, I think. I had time to do it before I got on the stream today, which was nice. I still haven't figured out the bonk one yet, but I'm figuring it out. So it's 1 a.m. here, off to bed soon, mate. Just wanted to pop in. All right, man. Well, thanks. I appreciate you. It is random, yes. I didn't make it weighted randomness, but it is random through StreamerBot, so you can hit all of the buttons. You can hit that button multiple times, and it is spammable. So I mean, if you guys want to all redeem a fart all at the same time, they would theoretically all play at the same time. Not saying that you should do that or anything, but in theory it is possible. Tuber made my bonk command. Feel free to yeet questions at him. He has much knowledge. Thank you for some of the sounds, by the way, Special. I appreciate it. I will probably shoot a message to Tuberin then, cause yeah, belly rubs for Kaiba. He was apparently he was howling in his sleep, and that's why my wife was howling earlier. And I don't know, I couldn't understand why, so I had said stop, please. And then now I feel bad because she was imitating Kaiba's howls in his sleep. So now I feel bad for saying please stop you howling in the background because I thought it was a dog, one of our dogs. I did all the things for your streamer bot. Oh. All the things. Oh. That is true, but shush. Oh. StreamerBot is goated though. If I can program my own stuff in there, I usually do it through StreamerBot. He is a good boy. Yes. Very good. Sometimes I wish he wasn't a reactive dog, but I mean, it's okay. As long as no other dog like generally starts things with him, he's fine. Like, he's chill. But the second that a dog barks at him, he's like, you know. He's ready to go at all times. He will beef, even though he's an old man. Actually, fun fact: his Kaiba's birthday actually is on December 8th, so he will be turning 9 years old. He will be turning 9 years old December 8th of this year. No problem, Trip. Wife does come first. Happy life. Aw, puppy birthday. Yay. Yeah, I always get him. We got him like this really funny birthday hat that I like to put on him. And like, last year, we cooked a mistake. Unsalted, of course. I think we'll probably do that again this year. And then sometimes I like to give him puppy ice cream, but sometimes he ends up not eating it for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure if he doesn't like it or it's just not his favorite flavor. He used to just scarf down the puppy ice creams. You can buy from like, I usually get the ones off of like PetSmart. I usually stop in there really quick, and I get him a bone too. He is a king for a day. At some point or another, dude, I think I want to do half birthdays for him. IRL before URL, yes. I think I might start doing half birthdays for Kai soon, since he's getting older. He's a big boy, so I'll have to cherish every 6 months that I have with him. I'm actually kind of glad that he hasn't had, well, I'm gonna knock on wood when I say this, he hasn't had any issues with, like, you know, the big issues that plague, like, big dogs, you know, like the hip dysplasia and stuff like that. Kara. Same with my big doll, sweetest pit bull ever, but if a female challenges her, she goes ballistic, lol. Special says, Kara, she's so cute though. She ignores male dogs. Okay. Well, I guess that's a positive. She can't be reactive to dogs she doesn't react to, you know? My dog is like, it's weird, like he's like 50-50 with people sometimes. Like, for sure, if someone is male, he's already like kind of suspicious of them, and he'll bark at them. But if it's female, if it's female anything, like a female person, he doesn't mind. he's only, to this day, he's only barked at one woman, poor woman, by the way, that we know about, and that happened during a day where it was kind of dark, and like me and my wife were like walking the dogs, and then like I see out of the corner of my eye that like Kai goes and he's greeting some of the neighbors that live a little bit further apart from our condo complex. And like so, you know, I'm like, and like, oh, is he friendly? Like, yeah, he is. And then we had Sasha too, and I told her like he's friendly, but she's kind of timid. I told them to like, you know, hold on for a second, but they were like petting him, and out of nowhere Kai just like bork, 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 you know, like I don't know what happened, but they got all scared, and he jumped up, and then I was like, whoa, like what happened? Like it took me a second to realize what had happened, and I'm like, what happened? And then I checked in with those ladies. I was like, are you guys okay? You know, like get hurt or anything? They were fine, thankfully. But to this day, I have no idea what happened, because Sasha was pulling me the other way because she's scared and she wants to get away from those people. And Kai's over there getting pet by them. And I don't know if it was the tension of the leashes or something like that like set him off, or maybe like the way like one of them pet him. I don't know. Something set him off. So he work, you know. Something like that hasn't happened ever since then. So thankful for that. But he had me kind of worried there for a little bit. I was like, am I gonna have to start keeping you away from people, my dude? But nah, he's been chill. Like he's really good with my brother-in-laws. He actually loves one of my brother-in-laws, and like he came over to walk him really quick a couple days ago, and he was like all cuddling on the couch with him. He likes to like jump, like see him and stuff like that, and like he really likes him. At first, like Kai didn't really like either of my brother-in-laws, and he would like bark at them and like growl at them and stuff. But he grew with them. Blueberry. Our Malamute never dated aggression, but she would be terrified of boots. The only time I saw aggression was when I took her for a walk and someone's palm was being psycho. Even then, she just reached out and stepped on it, all four legs starfished. That's funny. She just made that dog sploot, basically. Just sploot all over the floor. Sploot. Sasha, our white husky, really like sploots sometimes, just like laying down. She's like all sploot out. I haven't showed a picture of Sasha yet in your Discord, huh? I'll have to do that. But she's a cutie. She's in my Discord too. But she's an all white husky, and she's like really timid, medium-sized dog. She's a really good girl too. She like fun fact, like when I started dating my wife, we went over to her place for the first time, and like I remember Sasha immediately coming up to me and stuff, sniffing me, and she's usually like scared of people. So like I remember my wife saying like what the hell, like she never does this. She's always really scared of people the first time, and I've seen that replicated a lot. I've seen it enough to know that that's true now. But I've always been really good with dogs. I'm really like, I'm an animal person. I like having dogs and cats near me. I may or may not be allergic to cats, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. There's been kind of contradicting things for me there. But yeah, like Sasha immediately liked me the second that I saw her. Kara was a street dog when we got her. Guess she was bred for fighting dogs, and it was female. Aw, well, good thing you saved her. You ever had that one dog that when suddenly they refuse to lay their belly, so they just plop onto this side and press all the weight against you? Yeah. You know what? Kai does this really, really funny thing where, so like he'll, it's hard to describe what he does, but basically like he'll plop his head down like kind of like sideways, right? But his butt will still be in the air. So he's like, imagine like you laying in bed, right? Like, but you kind of like turn, trying to lay on your side, but your butt's still in the air, like, and it's like that. So he'll do that, and then like it'll take him forever to lay down properly, and so we just keep like patting on his butt and like petting him until he'll like lay down all the way, and then he just plops over. It's really cute, but yeah, he's that's how he likes to lay down with us most of the time when we call him to the bed. Ugh. Traffic was wild today, guys. It took me an hour and a half to get home. I totally underestimated the time required for that, by the way. Like I just, like, I don't know, like, I was coming out, like, me and my friends were like, oh, well, since me and one of my other friends kind of, like, come from the same direction, we were like, you know what, we should just, like, hang out for a bit, and, you know, wait for the traffic to die down. And several hours pass by and it doesn't die down, and so we're like, well, I guess we should just go home anyway. So it took me an hour and a half to get home. We tried to wait it out, but traffic goes on for a really long time. Oh, you guys have a Chihuahua too? Nice. What am I in here for? Oh yeah, I need 4 more of these fancy flags. Yeah, I'm almost out of amber. I'm gonna need more of that. Our little Chihuahua Simba flips between me and the wife. Nice. Nice. It's good, though. The connection, the first connection to the other side has happened. Okay, sleepy time. Okay, not bad. It's looking good now. Looking better, at least. So I got a break? Okay, cool. I'm always, like, cautious about, like, coming back here. Hey! Close. Fun fact, I had to make that sound myself. I had to take the sound files from Total War Warhammer 3 and then chop it up to... And I chopped up the part where it played their little horn whenever they're moving their armies and charging, and then the Khazad-dûm is like the dwarf word for charge, kind of a dwarf shout that they shout before like charging in Warhammer Fantasy. It's strange the amount of random skills that you pick up, by the way, like streaming and stuff. Like, yes, I did learn how to crossfade audios of two songs that weren't originally meant to be played together for this one YouTube video that I made. Will I ever use that skill again? Probably not, but it was cool to learn about. Brilliant. Nice. Thank you. Time for bed. Alright, bro. See ya. Love you too. Almost done with this pillar. It's taking me like, what, 2 hours? Just about to build this. Been putting a lot of time into this, like, out of stream too, because I want to kind of like I really want to like make it finished, or make it finished, I guess, or just have it finished. All right, cool. That's 4 now. Pretty cool. And then this portion in the middle. Like these little walkways right here, I was going to build like a little barrier type situation. Either that or I was going to build a really complex window situation for these side parts. Because I wanted to... My idea is that I wanted to leave it open in case you just wanted to take in the view at any level on the way up. Because once I'm done with those two, the idea is to go up another 6 floors and then cap it off, and then another 4 floors and then cap it off, and then another 2 floors. So by floors I mean walls. So these pillars are about 4 walls tall. So first floor is going to be this tall. The second floor will be 6 walls, and then the third 4, and then 2 for the top. And that's the maximum. It's the maximum limit, I think, for this skybox. Not exactly the minimum, but the minimum before you start getting some crazy bugs with the skybox. And then you can like not see your dwarf character anymore for some reason, or any build pieces. See if I have enough energy to finish two columns. Or I could try and do 2 at the same time. That's not gonna go well for me. I didn't take my medication today. I, in fact, did not take my Adderall today. Thank you. That's why it's really incredibly hard for me to focus on one topic. Bonk. I wish it worked. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I got caught up in the going to the movies with friends ordeal that I just forgot on the way out. My friends and I went and saw the new Wicked. I had already seen it with the wife, like a week ago, just about. And I mainly went because I wanted to see my friend's reaction to some of the ending scenes where they reveal the Scarecrow, who the Scarecrow is, and that's fun. It was fun seeing their reaction for that. Oh, that's breaking. Yep. Why would you even let me place it if it's just gonna break?
Frodo! Someone at the door.
Eppers. Hey, Eppers. Welcome. How are you? Good mornings. I'm actually about to run out of adamant. How am I doing? Pretty good. Pretty good. I managed to build another column today. And I connected those two. I connected these two today, or just now on stream. I had some weird issues with my stream earlier, but they're fine now. But yeah, now I have 4 connected pillars. And I'm working on the 5th and the 6th. The good thing about like mapping all of this out before you build things out before you build things is you kind of already have like a system for everything, or like you get it to like a routine placing certain parts and stuff. It's nice. Sweet. How did I solve the snapping issue? Well, I rebuilt the entire pillar. Well, I didn't rebuild the entire pillar, but I basically took down 3 sides of it. Special saw it. So now it's all even. So you see this. There's a little bit of a snapping issue right here. You can kind of see it from here, but it's not too noticeable. And now that these are connected, I can actually properly fix it. I couldn't fix it because this gap was just slightly too big for the archway bases. But yes, I did completely rebuild 3 sides of this, expanded it out 1 block so that this could be even with the rest of the structure. So So now it is even Stevens. Oof. Yeah, I know. It took me a while, actually. It took me a while. I streamed with, I sat in like a chat with Special and Sleepy the other night, and it took me basically all of the time that we spent in there to do that. Thank you. Bruh. Yeah, I also saw Wicked for Good again today with some friends, and then I really thoroughly enjoyed my one friend's reaction, my best friend's reaction to the ending scenes. You guys think I could build up both of these at the same time and then just like save a bunch of time that way? I think that I get too distracted. I say that I get too distracted to do it properly. But we'll see. This is going to be the problem area, by the way. This tower actually hangs very, very far over the edge. And it will definitely become a problem. And I'll figure it out, I guess, at some point. But for now, it's just going to have to hang over the edge precariously. See, if this game had like a physics system, I'm 100% certain that they would topple over the edge, but it doesn't, and I'm thankful for that. Hey, yeah, by the way, this side of Durin's tower is prone to topple at any moment. Do with that information what you will. Enjoy the tour. Moves away from that side. We only have Moria math. Yeah, Moria math. If you have a 2x2, Moria math says that if you have a 2x2 adamant barrier square, that it's somehow gonna be lopsided on one side, and you're not gonna understand how. But it will be. No. I think I'm probably going to run out of resources before I even finish either of these two towers, to be honest with you. I'm down to 350, and yeah, that's definitely not enough granite for this. I might have to go on an expedition for granite and adamant. It's actually surprising. This might be like legitimately the one time that I actually do run out of materials. There's a first for everything, I suppose. My stores were finally like, well, that's enough mega builds for you. Go mine. Oh yeah, I got the armor eppers. It looks really good with the Orc Hunter helmet in it and a mix of the Lord of Moria armor. Although, like, it's not quite it doesn't quite match, but it's cool. I like it. No more corrosion damage. All that yellow makes me nervous. It'll be fine. It makes you nervous. I'm just like, as long as it's not dark red, we're fine. As long as it doesn't explode immediately when I place it, we're okay. In fact, these ones are solid, actually. The only place where I have orange is somewhere right here in the middle. There's like one piece that has orange. And like a dark, like not a deep orange, but like a light orange hue for the stability. I'm still not convinced that the colors mean anything until like it's dark red. I'm hoping that because most of the structure is solid, that like when I start building upwards, it won't matter because it won't matter that one side like just hangs over the edge. That looks very scenic. Cool. Cool. I love the skybox for this. They did a really good job. All that heat red hue. Hey, Sanders, what's up? It goes pretty well. It goes pretty well. I mean, like, I got that one built. I connected these, and now there's 4 connected. I'm gonna go back for Limbus right now, and... see. I need more Limbus so that I can continue to build. Yeah, sorry about earlier, by the way. I'm not sure what happened to my stream. It just, like... it just, like, went offline, and I had no idea for, like, a good solid 10 minutes. My guy is starving. They don't always mean the level of it. So when pieces keep showing that like that on the same level, gets me nervous. Definitely get anxious. Yeah, I think it's probably PTSD from how the build system used to be, Eppers. I have it too, to a degree, but like at some, like I think I went the opposite direction with that, and instead of I guess being paranoid that anything will blow up at any time, I just said, well, I'm just gonna start placing things, and eventually something will break, and then I'll figure it out from there. I might need more. Do I have more granite here? What about adamant? Nope. There's no adamant here. Guys, I need to go mine for stuff. Should I use the dev pick? Nah. I'm not gonna use the dev pick. Fuck that. I'll mine my stuff the legit way. They really did do it. Yeah, I agree. They really did do a good job with the sky. They really need to pronounce the 7 stars too. You can kind of make them out from the skybox, but yeah, they kind of know what you're looking at. Let's hope that my dudes didn't make more cranks. He's sleeping in my old bed. Alright. Oh, whatever. They did make more cranks. No. Alright, well, I'm gonna remove all of their equipment. That's quite a lot of them. And they made a lot of paddles, too, actually. Why are they making these? I don't understand. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. For my bug report later. It's actually hilarious, but yeah, like, I don't know. So many brewmaster paddles. They do want more ale, huh? All right, let's go somewhere where you can get granite and adamant. This looks like a good one. I do need coal and amber too, unfortunately, but that would only get me rock. And I really only need the amber. Yeah, let's just go this way. I can't believe I'm mining for granite. I took granite for granite, guys. I mean... Hey, they lit the little campfire. Has it always been like that? It's usually not, right? It's the first time I see the campfire actually lit on a expedition at nighttime. Sorry, I haven't set up the pun thing yet. I swear it's almost done. It's so sparkly over here.
Our range is vast. Let's get going.
I had time for the fart one, and that was about it. If I would have gotten home at this if I would have gotten home today at the time that I usually get home, I probably would have finished both actually. Yeah.
All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be
Low
king.
priorities. I mean, yeah. I really don't need the silver, but I'm gonna mine it anyway to get it out of the way. I really don't need onyx for anything that I can think of at the moment, other than outside of like the black carpet. Can't believe I'm dropping. Actually, I'm gonna pick the onyx back up at least. Yeah. Wogs.
Perfect.
Ooh, emeralds. You think the traders buy onyx sometimes? I think they do too. Never hurts to have more precious gems, but I do need. I am here for adamant and granite mainly, so I can keep building. I think I have a bunch of emeralds now. Traders also buy diamonds too, by the way, which is an incredibly rare resource for them to be given. Yes, there is merch. Redbubble is kind of weird in the way it presents the merch, by the way, so if you click on any design that Special has made for me and or Sleepy, click on it and then it'll show you all the other things it can come as. Redbubble's cool. Like, you can usually click on something and it'll come up as like a sticker, or a pin, or you can get it on a hat or sweater. I've actually been meaning to get a hat, actually. All hail Special K and Sleepy, yeah. Hail the Den Mothers. You actually get quite a lot of emerald from these. Well, almost like on my third stack, building my third stack of emeralds is crazy. This is iron, but I want the adamant in it. I guess I won't say no to Red Barrel either, but, like, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it, I say, as I mine more of it. Hey, Lion's Mane, what's up? Oh, never mind. This place is very foggy. Much fog, very wow. Sanders. Yep. My wife and my wife and one of my friends are playing the new Helldivers update, so you may occasionally hear them shout in the background. Mist. This is my favorite, by the way. If you keep mining and then you suddenly switch to your inventory. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Cicero. Thank you for the merch purchase. It helps. All of it helps Special, by the way. Special makes all the artwork, so she makes a percentage of that. Whatever the Redbubble sale was. Ooh, for democracy. Yeah. Democracy. Mist in the Misty Mountains. Inconceivable. Yeah. I tried to take a picture of the fog once, but I missed. Yup. I really have to get that working, I'm sorry. I guess I could always just play it on the soundboard or something. In the meantime. I know it's not a key thing, but I'll keep doing it. It will be a thing soon-ish. Provided that I can figure it out. But, yeah. They would, I love the streamer.bot guy, but, I mean, like, whenever he does another update, he moves things around, and so then it makes me really confused. Man, dude, like, there's a lot of mist in here. It's like someone was hotboxing in the mountain. And now it's suddenly not.
I've ne'er beheld my Khazad-dûm, but know my home will greet me there. The gates will part like open arms, entrusting me with jewels rare. Below the mountains 3 and tall lie pillared halls that stand apart. I've ne'er beheld my Khazad-dûm, but know the road
Oh, hello there.
by heart. Ha!
Filthy dwarves. I need a better weapon for this. That's all you got?
Oh, what? I did 200 damage to whatever was under him.
One more for me.
Okay. I'm dropping all of that. I don't want that stuff. I want this stuff. Not much, but it's Christmas. What matters is the thought. Thank you. Appreciate it. Speaking of Christmas, how many of you guys have actually done your shopping for Christmas? My wife was really smart this year and organized another Secret Santa. My family set a limit of $50, so well, at least we won't be spending more than $50, at least for my side of the family. Not having the pun command was a mistake, lol. Yeah. Yeah. Is that a... Oh, that's just a wolf. Okay. That's a lot of them. A lot of wargs. Alright, well, they're dead. All of this for adamant. You know what they should have on expeditions? Just rooms full of adamant and granite. It might seemingly be useful to like most people, but for builders, it'll be amazing. That's cool that you guys have a little hammer emote too for bonking. Gonna be a horde soon. Nice. Wow, you have more than one. I like the kitty one. I like the kitty one. Kitty one's the best. And I like the chicken one too. A lot of them are for gifted subs. Oh, nice, like the hype train ones. Or like subs to other people's. I'm the type where I leave people alert when I go to bed. I will almost always wake up to someone else, and sometimes even a gifted sub. Oh, yeah. I'm somewhat the same way, although my... Oh, hey. Wow.
The dragon's beasts.
Oh, that was lame. Fine leather. I'm mostly the same way, but usually my phone dies. I don't leave it plugged in like a smart person sometimes. So I watch someone as long as possible until my phone dies. In fact, I think a couple of times on your streams, Blueberry, I've left my phone on until it died, because I remember like wondering why I wasn't hearing any background noise anymore at some point, and I was like, oh, my phone is in fact dead. So now I do a different thing. Now when I'm on the computer, I get into the habit of having a browser window open to lurk on friends' streams instead of just, you know, like using my phone. Ooh, thank you. Thank you so much, Cheaper, and I really appreciate that. That'll be very helpful for me. I've been like... There's like a couple of streamer bot stuff that I've used like C# for. The C# code. It's fun to do, like, little C# coding sessions every once in a while, but a little bit tedious. I don't like having to learn about the predefined variables that StreamerBot actually has versus doesn't have, and then they change those, and it gets a little complicated. I hate C#. You and me both. I hate it, but I hate it, but like I have to use it. I had to learn it for... I got my bachelor's degree last year. I had to take a class, and one of it was .NET Core Fundamentals, and I had to... all of that was all C# coding, and yeah, I did in fact hate my life for, and considered changing majors a couple of times, but I was like, well, it's too late now. Okay, I'm like not hitting him for some reason. I'm gonna change to one-hander. This is weird. Okay. Okay, how many attacks do you get to land before I can even land one? There you go. Dang. Forgot I had a dock appointment. Gotta dash. See you soon. Alright. See ya. Hope it goes well. Yeah, I'd rather C++ so I can have full control over the code. Yeah. C++ was definitely way easier. A lot of people told me that C++ is hard. I found C++ to be easy and C# to be harder. And I found Java to be moderate, like somewhere in the middle. And Python, it's pretty easy. They also had me do ASP.NET too. And then my last year of my bachelor's, I had like a project where like you basically had like to imitate a real project proposal, so you had to go through all the steps and of like the start of a project, so like, you know, the discovery phase and like finding out what like your theoretical client would want, and like a lot of the stuff, like costs of things, like isn't really published, so you have to just like basically just pull numbers out of your ass. And I'm surprised I even got a good grade on it. C# has so many randomly predefined assets. I don't have the ability to remember. Yep. Yeah. I would, I hate having to reference the document on streamer.bot. This website.
And draw my feet through ancient halls, where rooted veins of mithril true, like banners hung, will line the walls. Below the mountains 3 and tall lie pillared halls that stand apart. I've ne'er beheld my Khazad-dûm, but know the road I'll take by heart.
Hey, what else do I have? Carrot tea. You just sit here and drink while these guys are trying to kill me. Okay, cool. We're good now. Alright, leave a lurk. Need to get some rest. Bad brain day. Thank you for the lurk and for stopping by, Blueberry and Durin. Sleep well. Alright, I'm gonna start using the hammer. Dang it. Okay. Let's see all what I got from them. Picking up random stuff. A lot, actually. Okay. That was a wet one. Why that face?
That's all you got?
Oh wow, there's 2 camps in here. Is it just me, or does this expedition feel very long? Silver? I actually do need the slag, by the way. It is quite long, isn't it? Look, like it's like a weird wraparound. That's what she said. Lol, 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 lol. Some more over here. Two, 4, 5, like 1,000 each is what I got, I think. Do you have a headache? Did you eat? No tengo agua. Well, pues, go get it. What? Did Luke say something? Okay, well. Have fun dying. Thank you for putting the table back. There's my torch. Okay. Nice. Granite. Firsty. Oh, I am full, it appears. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can find our way out now. Let's head out. Oh. Seems like this is the way. Holy heck.
That's one more for me. Perfect. Give up your bone. Knock this one dead.
Okay, cool. That was, wow. Just went around in one big circle. Yeah, let's head out of here. Whoa. This is the way. Loading, loading, loading. Can't see the loading symbol in the bottom left corner because my stuff's blocking it, but that's what it's doing right now.
Well, do. Aye.
Alright, that is a lot of stuff. Oop, there's some. Why is there stuff in here? Hold on. Give me that. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna confiscate all of their items at the moment so that they don't be making more stoof. And then I'll wrap this up. Go up to the top really quick and deposit my things. So I can continue building. So that's where we're at with, well... Where's my bed at? It's over here. Sleep. Can't sleep while under... Oh, yeah. Whoops. That was you. The dump you just took was life-changing? Okay. Okay, cool. Now I can sleep. I'm not answering that question because I know what the answer is and I know what joke is gonna follow after it. Anyway, this is our progress so far. So we got that one. We got this one, this column, that column, and these three. And we're working on two more. We're gonna connect them. We're gonna support the bottom of that one. And then, after all this is done, I'll lay out the floor, and then I'll set the middle structure somewhere in the middle here. And then, we can start building more. We can start building higher, and it'll start from right around here. Yeah, so... I think that's a good stream for tonight. I did stream 40 minutes, like on the other stream, so it's about 4 hours. So, I'll start heading off now. So thanks everyone. If you want to stick around, I'll raid someone, and actually this will be someone that was in the chat earlier that you guys, I think you guys might like. Her name's Morning Darkness. She's cool. Really great Valheim streamer. She's not playing Valheim right this second, but she is playing some game demos right now. Her streams are pretty fun too. So let's head on over and raid her really quick. No, Luke, play nice. You will instantly get you will get banned. Yes. Hold on. I think I might have to do this for my computer. It's not doing it on my phone. Creator dashboard. Right here. Okay. And then raid. And then here. And then start raid. Oh, okay. Supposedly, I'm already raiding her. Oh, yes, I am. Okay. Raid now. Let's go.
How did your tower building in Lord of the Rings go in Return to Moria? Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, everyone. I'm Morning Darkness. I also go by Dawn. I typically stream a lot on Valheim, and right now we are playing.
Alright, guys, and I'll catch you later.